What's up, fam? This is your boy El Jefe, and I am here to talk to you about something a bit different today because normally you're accustomed to me talking to you about true wireless earbuds and Bluetooth headphones and things like that. But in this video, we're going to be talking about my experience with sort of experimenting with the audiophile level stuff. So higher end audio, as some people would call it. So the headphones that we're here to talk about today are the Drop Sennheiser HD6XX. So if you're interested in checking these out, they run right around the $200 price mark, sometimes $220, sometimes $195, and they do go on sale pretty often. So if you're interested in checking them out, hit the affiliate link in the description box right down below. Now, before we go any further, and for full disclosure, Drop went ahead and reached out to me. They sent these over for my honest opinion and review. And if this is your first time here, maybe you're not familiar with the way that I do things on this channel. Whether I go out and buy the product myself or if a company sends it over to me for review, I'm always going to keep it 100% real with you, let you know whether or not it's worth your hard-earned money. So let me give you a little bit of background on myself. So I'm no hardcore audiophile. So if you're one of those audiophile people who found this video and you're like, all right, let me see what this guy's talking about, I am not an audiophile. I am not an experienced audiophile. I'm not an audio engineer, none of that stuff. I'm just a regular dude who loves headphones and who loves music. And I'm just starting my journey into this side of the game. I've been doing a lot of Bluetooth stuff. I've been doing a lot of wireless stuff, but now I'm sort of stepping into this other realm with amp stacks and with DACs and with wired stuff. So please bear with me. I'm just starting my journey and I want to share this with you all. I want to share this with my audience, what a better listening experience could be if they go into the wired area. So with that said, let's get into it. So just some quick numbers on the HD6XX. They do have a resistance rating of 300 ohms, so it is going to take a little bit more power to really get the most out of these headphones. As far as the frequency response, they go from 10 hertz all the way up to 41 kilohertz. And then out of the box, they come with a standard 2-pin cable. It's right about 6 feet long, and it terminates in an 1/8" jack, but they also include a 1/4" jack right in the box. Now, as far as the build quality of these headphones, it's actually pretty legit. Now, mind you, it is a mostly plastic build, but hear me out. It doesn't feel cheap. It's actually very well built. And you know, they come in this really nice, like they call it midnight blue. It's a very, very dark blue. And I thought it was actually black when I pulled them out of the box. But as it turns out, you put the right light on them, they're actually midnight blue. It's pretty cool. And they sort of ghosted the Sennheiser logo across the top so you can barely see it. You just kind of got to angle it right. It looks pretty cool. Kind of keeps the branding down to a minimum. So I'm with that. Overall, the headphones feel premium, they feel durable, and obviously they have the standard Sennheiser build quality that everybody, you know, has known and has loved for years. So there is that. And if anything breaks, anything goes wrong, or if you want to find replacement parts, everything is totally available. Anything from the pads all the way to the cables and a bunch of different stuff. You can even make upgrades if you want to. So there's a lot of options available. As far as the comfort goes, they have some excellent padding. So at the top, you get this like almost like a memory foam type of material with a divot cut out for the top of your head. It actually feels really nice. And then as far as the ear pads go, you're getting the soft velour type of ear pads, very comfy. Now, as far as clamping force goes, for me, it was a bit on the medium to high side. Now, mind you, if you have a small head, it's not going to be an issue. But if you have a large pumpkin head like the one sitting right here, it could be a problem. So here's the thing, it was a little tight. So basically what I did, I just broke them in a little bit faster. So I set them up on a box, kind of let them stretch out for a few days. Once I put them on my head, everything was good to go. So you can always do that. If you have a larger head, stretch them out, and they do break in nicely. So that's also another good thing. And if you need even more comfort, like I said before, you can always buy replacement ear pads from different companies. You got like Deconi and a bunch of other ones out there. And you can get sheepskin, you can get leather, you can get hybrid, you can get velour, you can get suede. You can get all sorts of different ones. So just make sure you find the ones that you feel are good for you. For me personally, I'm just running the stock pads. Perfectly comfortable for me, and I like them. Now, next up, so the setup. How am I running these headphones? So like I said before, you do need a little bit more power to kind of get the most out of them. So when I first got these, I was like, all right, let me get into something. Let me pick up, you know, an entry level like DAC amp combo. So I ended up going with an FX Audio DAC-X6, something like that. Figured that'd be enough. Yep. I mean, it could drive them, but I wasn't getting the most out of them. You know, the 300 ohm resistance is gonna need a little bit more power. So the next step from there, I went with the JDS Labs Atom. That had plenty of power to really power these headphones, and it was very nice. But a lot of people said that it sort of sounds dry, and to try something different, So at the time that I was doing that and I was trying that one out, I was approached by a company called Audio. They're local here in the Bay Area, and they wanted me to check out their SMSL SP200 THX amp. So I went ahead and brought that in. So now I've got that hooked up, and this thing can drive pretty much anything. I mean, there's probably a few headphones it can't do, but a 300 ohm Sennheiser HD6XX, not a problem for this amp. And I've got it paired with a topping D30 DAC, you know, and that's just that combo together is really nice. Now, mind you, obviously there's a lot of people out there are gonna say, wow, you know, there are much better DACs out there. Totally. I didn't want to spend too much money, man. So I'm trying to keep things on a budget, and this is the way that I'm doing my setup. Feel free to disagree in the comment section. It's all good. But for me and my listening experience, this combo is working really good. So if you're interested in checking these out, I'll leave links for the stack right down in the description box down below. So make sure you check those out if you are interested. I think most people will probably consider this setup with this DAC, this amp, and these headphones somewhere around like the low to mid-fi type of setup. You know, I think you start breaking into the thousands when you start talking about hi-fi. So for me, this is more than enough. Now, as far as the sound goes, so basically the way I'm judging the sound is with these plugged in to this setup that's right there. The best way that I can describe it to you in just kind of layman's terms, you know, as a non-audiophile person, would be the sound is smooth and accurate. So everything sounds really nice. Now, if you're one of these people that are very accustomed to, you know, headphones that have a ton of boom and a ton of bass and all this and that, this is not really the setup for you. These have bass. It's very nice when they're driven properly. They do have a very accurate and tight hit with the bass, but that's it. There isn't this low end like sub bass rumble. You're not gonna get any of that. So just make sure you are aware of that. It's more of a detailed sound. The emphasis on this headphone seems to be more in the mid-range and in the treble. So as far as the bass, like I said, very accurate, but there's no real sub bass to it. So you're not gonna have that going on. But as far as the mid-range goes, this is where they really shine, in my personal opinion. You have a very sweet mid-range, super smooth, and man, with male and female vocals right where the vocal range is, it is unbelievable. You listen to some Sinatra, you listen to some Amy Winehouse, some postmodern jukebox, this stuff sounds amazing. And then you get into the treble, and it's very detailed. It's very clear. Now, mind you, there are much brighter, much more detailed headphones on the market. But for me personally, and coming from the background that I'm coming from, this is probably some of the most detailed that I personally have ever heard. For most people, especially people who aren't accustomed to this level of sound quality, it's a whole new world. To me, the detail in the treble is excellent. There isn't a bunch of harshness, at least in my personal opinion. But the best way that I can put it in much simpler terms would be to put a comparison to watching TV. So where you listen to these Bluetooth headphones that have like a lot of boominess in the bass and not much detail, think of that as like a 480p TV, like your old standard definition TVs. And then going with something like this, you know, the HD6XX hooked up to a proper DAC and a proper amp. It's like going from those old tube TVs to a brand spanking new 4K HDR TV, where you're seeing all this color and all this detail and all this sharpness. So that is the difference to me, in my personal opinion. That's the upgrade. You're going from low res to high res. It's like higher resolution listening, in my personal experience. So that's the simplest way that I could put it for you, so you can understand where I am coming from. Now, mind you, there's probably a bunch of audiophile jargon that I'm not getting into. I don't want to hit you with that stuff. I just want to let you know. So as far as bass goes, it isn't the heaviest bass, but it's very tight and accurate. Some of the best mid-range that I've ever heard, and some beautiful treble that isn't overly harsh. So that's the best way that I can say it. So do I recommend you go out and pick up the Sennheiser HD6XX? Abso-freaking-lutely. There's a reason that these are my favorite open backs, and that's because of this sound signature. It is so good. It is so tried and true, and it's only gotten better over time, which is one of the best things that I've experienced with these. Super comfortable, great build quality, and tons of different upgrade options if you want different cables, different pads, whatever you want to do. It's all available in the aftermarket. So this is what I use when I want to come home and listen to stuff. If I want to come home and listen to music and just sort of unwind from a long day, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to listen to. That's why that setup sits right there on top of my computer. highly recommended, 100%. Your boy El Jefe 100% approves. Now, I know a lot of you are more into wireless and more into true wireless earbuds. A lot of my audience is into that sort of thing, and I totally understand because I love that stuff. I also test a lot of that stuff. But this video is for me to share with you another small piece of me and what I'm doing and how I listen to my stuff. And hopefully, maybe you may decide that you want to really step your game up and start getting into some higher res listening. This is a good way to start. And I'm gonna leave links to all that stuff that I'm using in the description box down below, so make sure you check it out. So with that said, do you have a favorite set of open back headphones that you would recommend to me? Or are you using the Sennheiser HD6XX in your setup? Let me know what your experience has been like. Also, do me a favor. Let me know what's one of your favorite songs to listen to with your audio setup. Maybe it's something that I haven't heard before. It'll help me get to know you a little bit better, and if I really like it, I'll add it to the El Jefe test playlist and it'll become a part of my testing regimen. So leave that stuff in the comment section. If you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and hit the dislike button. There's always one or two of you out there. I don't want you feeling left out. And if you haven't done so already, consider joining the fam. Hit that subscribe button along with that small notification bell. This way you never miss any of my weekly videos. So with all that said, I hope I brought you some good value today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have an awesome week, and I will see you in the next video.